千里之行，始于足下. A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together. Welcome to Tao Talks with Derek Lin, where we take a deep dive into the Daodejing by Lao Zi. Here we are once again, everybody. I want to invite everyone to center yourself, to gain that Tao state of mind in participation for this process, where your energy together with everybody else will make this a special occasion. In the first bullet point here, I'm saying that these are the same two lines that appeared in Daodejing 52. So let me go ahead and lay them out side by side for you so you can see for yourself. So you can see, in fact, that the lines are identical and the translation is also identical. To illustrate this, I like to use this image here of the three frogs, and these match what the lines talk about. Whereas the first line, close the mouth, this matches the frog on the right, to close the mouth. And then the second line, shut the doors, matches the two frogs, the one on the left and the one in the middle. So let me spend a moment on how this is a little bit different between East and West. In Eastern traditions, and here I'm talking about the Tao philosophy, Buddhist teachings, in Eastern traditions, it is a common teaching that the external reflects the internal. Your external reality will reflect your internal mental landscape, mental and spiritual landscape. Therefore, if you don't dwell on evil thoughts, you will naturally see, hear, and speak only the good. You know, when we have the three frogs like this, we might say, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Okay, so that's one way to look at it. The Western concept is a little bit different. It's subtly different. It may be not about reflecting the goodness within your hearts externally, but rather something that is that's a little darker. Like, see no evil could mean that you look the other way, that you ignore something bad that's going on. To hear no evil could be that you pretend ignorance, like, what was that? I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything. And therefore, avoid or deny any moral responsibility. And thus, you don't have to talk about it. Speak no evil, but not because it's out of the goodness of your hearts, a positive impulse, but that you want to avoid responsibility. Now, the same ideas can be represented in different ways. Instead of the three frogs, it could be the four monkeys. Sometimes the monkeys also show up in three, and sometimes the frogs show up in four. But there's additional ways to highlight this particular concept. Here in this slide, I have the four monkeys. Sometimes they're called the four wise monkeys. And here again, I want to share with everyone that this is something that Kongzi, Confucius, has talked about as well. He actually talks about it as a group of four, and therefore corresponding exactly with the four monkeys. So let me bring Kongzi back in again and talk about what he talks about. On this topic, Confucius expressed the following thoughts. 非礼勿视. This is the eyes This is basically saying, do not look at that which is improper. Example, if there's something that is meant to be private, that you should not be exposed to, that you should not be seeing, something that is confidential, it would not be proper for you to look at it. A Tao cultivator would take that seriously and then would make a conscious decision to not look at something that can be tempting or distracting. Then we have another aspect of it, 非礼勿听. This is the hearing part. Do not listen to that which is improper. This covers a lot of ground. For instance, as we go through life, we will sometimes hear flattery. People will praise us, sometimes for good reason, sometimes not. Either way, if it's something that can inflate the ego, something that can distort reality, then it would be better to not even listen to it, to pay no attention. Same with gossip and rumors. What good is it to listen to rumors and gossip, especially when it is likely to be untrue, fabricated, and just designed to spread misinformation, maybe part of a disinformation campaign? It would not be proper to listen to that. So this is the second one of the 4 teachings from Kongzi. He called it 四勿, the 4 don'ts. So the first don't is do not look at that which is improper. The second one is don't listen to that which is improper. Then how about the third? 非礼勿言. This is about the speaking part. This is the first monkey to the left. Do not speak of that which is improper. Well, we like to, this is where we want to point out that Tao cultivators put a lot of time and attention on making sure that this part of the cultivation is done properly, because there are so many opportunities for people to complain about just about anything, or to pass on critical remarks, untruths, conspiracy theories sometimes, things that are not proper for us to pass on. When we speak, what goes out is like a dagger that's been thrown. Once you throw that dagger, there's no taking it back. It can hurt someone, and that's why we have to be particularly careful. And in my case, I myself have also decided that it would be improper for me to curse. So I'm going to minimize or eliminate cursing for myself. That's the discipline that I impose on myself. I would prefer to say things that are positive, that are true, that are encouraging, that express humility. And that is my effort to cleanse this aspect of my communication. Lastly, the last don't, 非礼勿动. Do not act on that which is improper. And this is where the rightmost monkey in our picture has the hands folded in his lap, to not take any action, to not take action that is improper, to not take things that don't belong to you, to not raise your hand in anger against someone else. This is the fourth of the 4 don'ts, the final one of the 4 don'ts. And Confucius, by all 4 of these, is also assuming that we have cultivated to a certain point where we actually know what is proper and improper. And much of the cultivational effort is devoted to that, is devoted to telling, understanding what is proper, what is not. So this corresponds once again to this particular chapter. And we see close the mouth, shut the doors. This is exactly what we're talking about here. The 4 don'ts. Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Let us all travel safely so we can meet again. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.